the more we don't get the therapy, the more we don't live in our highest self, the more we are going to keep choosing to eat dead flesh and not incorporate minerals or eat some greens. The more we choose to not really see what's going on, we're taking years off of our lives. Or if you live to those long years, oh, you got diabetes, you got to cut a foot off. Or the doctor said you got to take this medicine for the rest of your life. Oh, the doctor said you got to do this. Oh, you're going to be in pain. You can't work. I don't want to be like how I've seen a lot of people be. Like, I know people that got cancer and they were so far gone. They just, all they wanted was a bacon, egg, and cheese, even though that's the thing that gave them cancer.
Greetings, family. Welcome to the Grand Rising Collective. My name is Kyle Dixon, co-host, educator, and entrepreneur for 20 years. Grand Rising Collective's here is to cultivate greatness in ourselves and our community.
And my name is Kayode Bentley, co-host, educator, and entrepreneur for over 20 plus years. My contribution to Grand Rising Collective is to help cultivate that greatness in ourselves and the community through impactful discussions, seminars, and webinars with my co-host, Kyle Dixon.
Relationship with people outside, like we just mentioned, with the family dynamic and, you know, women, men, children playing a role, even the elders playing a role in the family. Like, what helped to support you in your journey to get to this space now? Because as we say, we don't do this alone. So like, how did you get to this space? Like, what support did you have in going through your process?
Yeah, it's a great question. I love that question because I feel like I'm so blessed because of my family support. And, you know, I thought it was normal. And I'm like, this is what it is. But when you look out into the world, I took off my rose-colored glasses. A lot of people are alone or do feel alone, and they feel like they don't have that. So my husband, he is amazing. He's Grenadian. And when I tell you, like, the discipline level is like ridiculous to the point where at one time I thought we weren't gonna make it because I was like, I can't deal with this anymore. I need to have fun. I need to do my own thing. You cannot tell me what to do. Like, this man, if he says he's gonna cut out soda, he's never gonna touch soda again.
Wow.
And I'm like, well, how do you do that? Don't you enjoy drinking ginger? He's like, Christine, if something's not good for me and I make up my mind that I'm not gonna drink it, I'm not touching it. Very, you know, just very Bob Marley vibes, life, nature, really good upbringing. So his support and his mindset, and he didn't grow up in America. So he is actually appalled at how we make decisions. He grew up in Grenada. He came here in his early 20s. So when he sees me like, oh, I'm going to just grab a slice of pizza or I'm going to get food from this place, he's like, why do you want someone else to prepare your food? Why do you want to eat that? He's like, you know, I'd rather have a home cooked meal. This is before we got married. So he's like appalled at how we make like impulsive decisions and we're just all about convenience. He's so appalled. So his support really, really helped me to want to do better because I'm like, wow, like he doesn't have the fatigue, the feeling tired, always feeling irritable, feeling stressed, not feeling himself. He doesn't have that issue. And I'm like, I know it's connected to what he puts into his body. Like he drinks Mavi, he drinks bitter, anything bitter, any tonic he wants to drink, he wants that. And that anything bitter is good for your body. So good for your body. Yes. Don't add sugar to it.
If you can get
it's so good.
But it's good though. If you get used to it, because trust me, your taste buds adjust. You know, that's one thing people don't realize.
Or you could just gulp it down real quick. Yeah. And yes, your taste buds do adjust because I'm a sweets girl and I had to get used to like a dandelion and bladderwrack. Like once you drink these teas, it could taste a little bitter, but then it started to taste like just real, like it started to just feel good because and taste good because I know it's good for me.
And Empress, can is this thing too? Because this is the thing for me that when you start eating things that are more bitter or drinking things that are bitter for you, that are good for you, family, of course, consult your doctor, consult your physician, that it starts to get a little sweet too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I don't want to sound crazy, but I'm not lying. I had these teas. In the beginning, I think it was burdock and blue vetiver. I might be pronouncing that wrong.
Yeah.
In the beginning, it tasted bitter. Then it just started to taste so good. And then you get like this natural high from it. Like you don't need drugs, whatever. no judgment here. My brothers indulge in their other herbs. It's just never been my thing. But there are herbal natural root tonics that give you the similar high that these other things would give you, and like alcohol and stuff like that. We don't need any of that. Nothing against like organic vegan wine and stuff like that. Or if you need a wine cooler once in a while. And I drink my fair amount of drinks, alcohol, don't get me wrong, but it's really acidic and it really messes up our insides. And if we drink the natural herbs and the tonics, you will get the same feeling once you do that cleanse to your body and your body gets used to it. It really feels, it tastes really good. So I think the Kyle, yes, back to your question, Kyle, about support.
Yeah.
Wow, like my mom and my husband and my brothers, I have so much support. I just feel so covered. Like if I'm not eating something, my mom will cook me a pot of lentils and a side of quinoa. Like I don't know, like that is, I'm not gonna get emotional, but that is beautiful. Like a lot of parents that I know of, like, you know, jokingly, but they're not doing it. And I'm like, child, you gonna cook that yourself? You do it. Like my mom supports us so much. Like if I'm like, Mom, I'm not eating meat, she'll cook me a pot of quinoa, make sure that I'm good. Or I'll be like, Mom, I'm really not feeling well. I'll have a pot of ginger tea boiling like when I get home from work. So to go on this journey of like wellness and being your highest self, activating your divine purpose, reaching those heights of ascension and all these things we want to do, you need the support. And then a lot of us need therapy. Like we are so hurt, we are so scared. Like my thing was fear. I don't know what I'm really afraid of. I guess I need to talk through that more with the therapist that I trust or with my family. I don't know what I'm so afraid of, but we have a lot of fear, and then it must come from some type of hurt. I had a really good childhood, so I don't know where this fear is coming from, but we fear what's on the other side, but it's really beautiful on the other side. So I would say, not to be all long-winded, but the support from family, it's so, or friends or accountability partner, like y'all are family. Even if you're not blood family, we're a family. Like we can help keep each other accountable, hit each other up when we need advice or guidance or a suggestion. Like, yo, I'm really craving this right now, Kyle or Kayode. What do you think I should eat? Can you guide me right now? Because I'm really about to give in. Like just the support of your people is really, really essential. Like it's really important.
I heard you mention, the eating healthy and the support system. And when you weren't feeling well, you had some tea. Now that we're kind of coming out of the end of this so-called pandemic, right? It kind of seems like, who knows, there may be another variant that comes back up and puts us back in the house for another year. Who knows, God forbid. But how did you stay safe during the pandemic, Miss Empress? You know, and whether that's eating or just generally.
So a number of ways. I'll talk about physically and mentally, really try to make it not too long-winded. So physically, how I physically stayed safe, was how most people stay safe, was not going anywhere because we couldn't. I don't like fear to be like the dictator of what I do and where I go or where I don't go. So I still wanted to go places because I think nature and the sun and being around people was really important for me, really important for us to function. So I would still like go to the park and things like that when it was like, when the weather permitted me to. So I would still want to go places. But how I physically stayed safe was not going anywhere because you couldn't. Restaurants were shut down, lounges, bars, my go-to places to release energy and dance and do stuff like that, it was closed. Dance studios, gyms, everything was closed. So I had to stay home. And another way that I physically stayed safe was everything that came through the front door, because we didn't know what this was. We literally wiped down everything and disinfected everything that came through the front door. And like, not only with like bleach and Lysol, because that's some of that stuff is toxic. Thyme, we had this thyme cleaning solution, and you know, a lot of people don't know that thyme and tea tree oil is antibacterial. We wiped everything down with this thyme and tea tree oil solution. And how I physically and like another way I physically stay safe was I didn't eat a lot of dairy, because the herbalist told me that the virus attacks those who are eating a lot of acidic foods. dairy is really acidic, meat is acidic, starch is acidic, everything that we love. Unfortunately, most of it is acidic. So I had to make a conscious decision again to incorporate back in, okay, where are my greens? Where's my dandelion tinctures? Where are my healthy Dr. Sabi approved stuff? Because that to me, that was a barrier to keep COVID or whatever away from my family. And no one in my family caught it. When Omicron came, so-called, my test came back positive, and I feel like it wasn't I feel like that was a false false read, because I'm just like, I'm like, well, how is it positive? But they were like, oh, well, some people don't get symptoms, blah blah blah. So I'm like, whatever. But during the height of this pandemic, when it was really scary, like people were in the hospital, people were losing their lives, I stay physically safe by reducing inflammation, foods that cause inflammation, by disinfecting things, by staying home, and by keeping my mind really, really like stress-free. How I did that? Fun board games in the house, laughing, prioritizing joy. Because again, my mom took the opposite approach. Always was watching the news, always stressed out. Oh my God, we're gonna die. I cannot subscribe to that. Even if it was a possibility that I could have lost someone close to me, I didn't lose anyone close to me to COVID, thank God. I really thank God. And, you know, my heart goes out to those who did. But my story is I didn't lose anyone close to me, and no one close to me was hospitalized. So I'm so, so grateful. And it was because I think it was because of the precautions we took, and because we cared about our emotional state. We were not gonna make the news dictate how we felt. So even though it was scary, we still chose joy and chose happiness and appreciation over the world is ending. We're gonna cry and, you know, be in this negative mind state.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You got a question, Carol?
Yeah, no, definitely. I always got questions. I got questions. So Empress, no, thank you for sharing that, because again, you know, people suffered during COVID, people prospered during COVID as well, you know, and like you said, those having to cut out those things in our eating habits, our drinking habits during COVID helped to secure a lot of folks, myself included. I cut out dairy, cut out a lot of sugar. Actually, people talked about during COVID, like the COVID-15, the COVID-20, people said they gained weight during COVID. I actually lost weight.
Lost weight, right.
We talked about earlier about fasting. I was doing fasting, and not necessarily fasting family without eating, but like without eating certain times, and also cutting out certain foods. So I would go like on a fruit fast for a few days, or I literally go on like a water fast where I drink nothing but liquid, like teas, water, smoothies, and things like that. So it was a lot of discipline involved, but it wasn't something that was new to me. I was already doing this before COVID, so for me it was a little easier. It was easier, but it's still hard because like she said earlier, you have to practice discipline, you know, and that comes like for any platform, with us being Grand Rising Collective. When we talk about being successful, that comes with discipline. There's no person who's successful, whether it be financially, spiritually, mentally, that does not have the key word discipline. And the next word after that is consistency.
Consistency, Ashe. That's so true. I completely agree.
Empress, I want to get some more clarity on the timeline. So, did the pandemic influence your adjustment or eating lifestyle, or were you doing that? Oh, you said you Dr. Sebi in college, so you were already in that. So
I was already on it. So the pandemic hit. Oh my goodness, they helped me so much and changed my life. Yeah, and before the pandemic, before I got pregnant, I was put on to clean a FUA, and the information was scary to me. Opening that book, it's really dense. It is so amazing, but I was scared because I was like, I have to do all of this to be a queen, to be a goddess. Like, this is what God wants me to do. Like, I just want to just be left alone and go watch Netflix. But it was like, it felt like there was so much responsibility, and like I really had to roll up my sleeves and like get to work. And like, I'm the only girl. I was born on Valentine's Day. Like, I had a pretty like great childhood. Like, my husband would say I was spoiled. So I'm like, I don't want to do all of this. I don't want this responsibility. So when I read the Queen of Fool book, it was inspiring, but I was terrified. I was so scared. And another key to this, what you laid it out, Kyle. You said discipline and consistency, but then comes the courage to even implement it and do it. So then another key word during my journey was courage, and I'm just like, what am I gonna do with all this information? I was like, I wish I never read this, because now I know better, so now I have to do it. I'm just like, oh no. And then it was like, okay, join the program, and then there was a financial investment. And for various reasons, I didn't do the official I think it's called Queens of Passage. She has an actual official program, and she got started in Brooklyn, New York. But at this point, she had moved away from the brick and mortar to fully being online. And the way my personality was, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to be in the space with the queens and meeting up in person. Like, in person works better for me. Like, if I had to choose going in the classroom or was it online class, I would choose going into the classroom. So because she switched to online, I didn't do the program, but I still follow all the steps in her book. Like, the beautiful thing about her book, you don't need to join a program. Like, if you don't have the money, you don't have to join the program. You can just follow her book. Like, they just really help essentially save my life, because the more we don't get the therapy, the more we don't live in our highest self, the more we are going to keep choosing to eat dead flesh and not incorporate minerals or eat some greens. The more we choose to not really see what's going on, we're taking years off of our lives. Or if you live to those long years, oh, you got diabetes, you got to cut a foot off. Or the doctor said you got to take this medicine for the rest of your life. Oh, the doctor said you got to do this. Oh, you're going to be in pain, you can't work. I don't want to be like how I've seen a lot of people be. Like, I know people that got cancer and they were so far gone, all they wanted was a bacon, egg, and cheese, even though that's the thing that gave them cancer. I know people that had cancer, like, I was really close to them to the point where I was taking this person to the chemo. And this was years ago. Let's just put that. It was like 9-10 years ago, around the time I found out about Dr. Sabi. This person had cancer and they still wanted to drink, because that's just how their mind and their body was. And I had to have compassion for them. I couldn't get mad at them. It's like, this thing is killing you, but you want it anyway. That's an addiction. So I had to learn how to be patient and compassionate with my people, because I was the type to just get mad. Like, if you don't care, then I don't care. But I had to learn compassion. Like, my people are suffering from addictions to food, forget about the drugs. That's a problem. But the food, being addicted to sugar, that's a drug to me. And then when I say drugs, I mean the ones that they would put on mainstream TV, like, oh, say no to this drug, say no to this. Like, that's a problem too. But what about saying no to sugar and saying no to the alcohol that's killing us, and saying no to all of these things that we overindulge in that's killing us? And, it's heartbreaking. And then when you're chosen, so the Grand Rising Collective is beautiful, and you're all chosen to put this message out. When you're chosen to help people do better, you have to have such a high level of compassion, because they need help. Once you have this addiction that takes hold of you, it's really hard to get out of it.
Wow. Mm-hmm. This is all right. So, because I'm on all information. This is amazing. We touched on food. We touched on support. We covered a lot of areas. One area that I think is just as crucial that I don't think we realize is breathing, right? So can you tell us or share with us, obviously breathing is important. If you don't breathe, we understand that. So I'm not saying that. But are there certain techniques to breathing? Like, why is this so integral to our health and well-being? Because, you can breathe, yes, but I've had experiences with friends of the family whose relatives passed away, and it's strange to hear, but relatives are telling them, breathe. You know what I mean? Well, you're already breathing, because if you don't breathe, you die. But there's a certain thing about breathing from your diaphragm, right? And there's certain thing, it's a certain release. Like, breathe in through your nose, breathe out through your mouth. You breathe in oxygen, breathe out carbon dioxide. The trees take up our carbon dioxide and give us oxygen. So can you share with us some of the little things that we may not be familiar with in regards or in relation to the importance of just breathing?
Absolutely. So I didn't know the importance of breathing, and I'm breathing every day, right? Because I'm alive. But what I mean by that is I'm doing better, much better now, because once you start to clean up your mind and clean up your food choices, you start to think about, okay, well, if I'm bringing my attention back to my breath, that's meditation. So meditation comes up in these conversations. So I forget the exact names, because all these breathing techniques have names, and they can get extremely complex and really, really extreme. Like it's a lot. Like there's people on YouTube, you just Google breathing techniques, they go above and beyond, and I'm not there yet. So I stick to the in through the nose, out through the mouth, to breathing out the carbon dioxide. That's really, really helpful for me. And I do it during meditation, and times throughout the day I have to check in with myself. So that's like centering yourself and grounding yourself. Like, am I breathing? Because sometimes when there's a stressful situation, you're doing something, I don't know if you ever realize, but you're actually holding your breath. So I had to bring myself back to myself, as crazy as that may sound, because we get so pulled away in different directions during the day, and you lead with humanity when we're really supposed to be leading with spirit. So I have to bring myself back to myself, and I'm like, Christine, you were just holding your breath because you were thinking about a stressful situation, or you were multitasking. Sometimes we have to just be still and ask yourself, like, are you breathing right now? Breathe in, breathe out, close your eyes at your desk. If you work in an office, make sure that even if you have to set reminders, because soon when you really bring yourself back to spirit, your internally will be that reminder. But sometimes we need the technology in the beginning. Set a reminder, get up and walk around, sit down, meditate, breathe. Are you breathing? Take some deep breaths. Set the reminders on your phone until your body naturally just does it for yourself. It is extremely important to breathe, because it lowers the cortisol levels, which is what is stressing us out. The cortisol hormone, that's what causes the stress. And when you breathe, you're sending a message to your body, your inner organs, that you're safe and that you're good. So now that's actually helping these diseases not manifest. So breathing is just as important as a positive mindset, is just as important as our food choices. So how I do it, to sum that all up, is with sitting still with meditation. Because during the day, I live in New York City, I live in Brooklyn. Sometimes I'm breathing so shallow and even holding my breath that I didn't realize that I was.
I am thoroughly impressed with the information that you shared with us, but also how you articulate it. Okay. It resonates. It seamlessly, it resonates. I mean, I'm thinking, well, share with us your business, right? What is the process? Obviously, I don't. That's why I want to know. I don't know if you're. Obviously, I do know, but I'm saying for this.
For the people,
other people, what is the process of owning and operating your business? I mean, do you have a business? Is this what you share on a scale, to other people who need to hear this information and the benefit from the knowledge that you've developed over these years? Tell us about your business, the process of owning and operating your business, please.
Yes, I give thanks. I have an official business, and it's called Empress Livewire, Activate Your Superpower. In addition to being a host, because obviously with my energy, how I got my name is a different story. Maybe we could get into that on part 2. Obviously, I'm high energy, and I don't have to take anything to be this way. It's just how I naturally was born. I'm just a high energy Aquarius. No caffeine. I've had nothing this morning. So it is 1:16 p.m. And some people think it's crazy, but I have had nothing to eat or drink except for water. And my daughter and my husband had a smoothie. No dairy, all natural smoothie. That's what we had so far for the whole day. So I'm just naturally high energy. Empress Livewire speaks to that, and the Empress is just speaks to the femininity and the responsibility of what being an Empress means. We can get into that later. But in addition to being a host and a transformational speaker, I do offer consultations to my tribe, or to those in my tribe. I mean, my people, whoever's a part of my tribe, you're my tribe. So I do offer consultations if needed, and it's a holistic consultation, because I ask questions. Kyle can speak to that. I ask certain questions, and insight that I'm able to give on the consultations is because I have been through this. I have been through this myself, and I am what I wanted when I was in college. Someone to sit down with me for an hour to an hour and a half and go through everything, because it's holistic. Not what can I eat tomorrow? No, what affirmations can I say to myself? What breathing techniques can I do? What tools can I use? What nighttime routine should I have? What rising routine should I have? Because that all plays into what decisions you're going to make with the food the next day. What I mean by that, for example, right? I'm going to give a little bit of what I might give on a consultation. If you're up to a little snippet, if you're up to 11 p.m., right? And you fell asleep on your phone, on Twitter, you are going to make different decisions the next day with your food options than you would as if you went to sleep, not just fell asleep. If you went to bed, you had a bedtime routine, you didn't eat nothing after 7, you didn't have any access to your phone at least for an hour before you went to bed, and if you did some journaling, wrote about your day, and just connected with yourself. I'm really good friends with a poet. He said God lives on paper. If you write down how you feel, how your day went, or how you want tomorrow to be different, and then you did some deep breathing and you went to sleep, the next day you're gonna want a kale salad. You're gonna want some fruit. You're gonna want the optimal foods for your body. That's just how your body operates. It's like it's this momentum that's created by making better decisions with your nighttime routine, your rising routine, and things like that. So I do the holistic breakdown. What is it that you want to work on right now? What is it that you think that you can do better with? What do you think is your superpower? And then we go from there. We talk about your strengths and your weaknesses. We talk about what you want to get done, accomplished in the next 3 months. Sometimes it depends on the client. I'll say, what do you want to do in the next week? If the client is really already there and disciplined, because a lot of my clients are professionals in there already activating their superpower. They just need a couple of reminders. So I'll say, listen, what do you want to get done in the next 30 days? Let's set out a plan. And I actually give them the plan. I give them a daily schedule. I give them customized affirmations. I like give you a whole nice little packet and an email. And I'm really, really proud of it. It's on like smiling. So that's my business. I do give consultations. If you go to my Instagram, it's Empress Livewire. Empress spelled the same, the correct way. No underscores, no nothing. Empress Livewire. Livewire is Livewire. A lot of people don't know Livewire is like a comic book superhero. So Activate Your Superpower is connected to the whole thing. And I'm really, really proud of it. I love the professionals that I have, business owners, professionals that I have done consultations with so far. When I tell you, I learned myself on those consultations, and it makes me a better consultant. It makes me a better transformational speaker. This makes me better. So we're all a part of like this divine puzzle, and we all have a little part to play. And we're here to co-create with one another. So it's so beautiful how when I'm on a consultation, it's my business, it's my job, so to speak, right? But I'm learning from my clients or my, I'm learning from my people. So it's so beautiful. If I do say so myself, I'm so proud of it. And, books and obviously all that is in the works. I want to be a published author. I'm already writing as we speak. And my website was hacked. I never thought that I would see the day. So my manager's working on it right now. So in the meantime, my link to my Linktree and my Candidly to make any appointments, that is in the link in my bio or my Instagram. So,
fantastic.
Yeah.
One quick point I want to bring up. One of the things that there's so many things I know. Let me just get this out. I had to figure out, like I have a time block workflow that I do. Cal knows, so I talk about it all the time. I'm struggling with it. There's always something new. But something that you said that I connect with and I want to add to is I look at my day starting the night before. And when I shared this with some of my colleagues, it's amazing how foreign it is to them, that concept. They just can't fathom that. They can't fathom, like, they think the day starts when you wake up, when in reality, it really starts the night before. And the reason why I say that is because I noticed that if I go to bed late, it has a domino effect in what time I wake up in the morning. So if you think of it as well, if you think of it in terms of my day starts the night before, like you said, in regards to if you journal before you go, if you go to sleep with the Twitter on, before you fall asleep, it's going to affect your morning because that's what you're carrying through to the night, as opposed to journaling or whatever. So when you made that statement, it was like, you right on, Empress. I can attest to Miss Empress, a formula, format, her workflow, that she's on target with that. Absolutely. Your night start for me, and maybe not for everybody, but your night definitely starts the night. Your day definitely starts the night before because it cascades into the next day. Sorry, Kyle. I just wanted to give Empress her.
No, that's real. No need to apologize.
I give thanks. I give thanks.
Yeah, we give thanks for the flow. I mean, that's the energy that she's exuding. And family, I can speak for myself. The plan that she gave me, it works. Like, she gave me some plans for breathing, for affirmations in the morning when I wake up, to when I go to bed, just some simple things to do on a weekly basis, right? We kept it small. She gave me introductory lessons and consultation, because again, I'm not going to have her on here unless I can vouch for her, and I'm vouching for her. Like, she's legit as they come. She's not as they say. Well, I don't know if they say it now. She's not fugazi. She's not fake. She's not fake.
I remember when we used to use that word.
She's the real deal. And I appreciate her having those services, because some of the stuff I was already into, but we all need other people outside of us, because she introduced some things to me about the breathing techniques that she can go deeper into you with once you become a client. And I'm sure she has different price packages. I'm sure we'll definitely make sure to notate that. But like, it's important to learn how these things simplify these things for you, because it's a lot. It's a lot going on. It's a lot in reference of health, wellness, optimizing your body, your mind in these difficult times. So, she's one of the people that is a reminder for us and a guide for us to go back to the simple things, right?
Ashe. It's definitely a reminder, because we all know it already. It's within. It's literally imprinted within us. Like, if there was never a Bible printed or whatever spiritual book that you may or may not follow, it's literally, the word is literally within us, whatever word you follow. So all of this is just reminders. We lost it along the way because we were told that we should watch TV and that's fun, and that we should eat, go to the candy store every day because that's fun. But what's really fun is getting back to yourself and getting to know yourself. And my main message is living joyfully. Like, you're gonna go home and the decision is ultimately up to you. Our superpower is choice. Our superpower is what are you gonna choose? Because that's up to you. You can choose to go home and drink a glass of milk that has, cow's milk that has mucus in it, or you could choose to go drink a glass of lemon water or lime water. Like, the choice is ultimately yours. But I just want to encourage you to whatever you choose, be happy with that decision and live joyfully, because as far as we know, we have one life in this physical realm. So have fun with it and don't take it for granted. I'm not going to, like, if someone comes on a consultation call and they're like, listen, I'm never cutting it out. I'm here because I want to learn how to have a successful business, and you don't think the two connect, no judgment here. I'm not gonna not take you on as a client, and I'm gonna work with you no matter your food choices, no matter your lifestyle choice. We can work to get to what life you want and what you think is best for your life while we're here. So I just want everyone to just, I've been around people that were stressed out. I don't want that for our people. So that should be my primary goal, to help you live a fun, joyful life. And along the way, you'll have better food choices. You'll eat better. You'll have a successful business. You'll feed your family better food. So I'm just really excited about the holistic, healthy change.
For a lot of people who have a lot on their plate, what are the 3 simple things people can do for their wellness, Miss Empress? What are 3 simple things? 3, because Kyle and he hears a lot from me when I say tangible steps. And that's big for me now. We gave it a mnemonic, DFS, data, facts, and statistics, right? So we just don't want to give our opinion and our perspective on things. We want to back it up with data that supports what our decision is, which is psychological and based on studies. So, Kyle hears that. So for our listening audience, as we try to pursue this path and giving them things tangible, what is top 3 simple things, tangible, people can do for their wellness, Miss Empress? For
their wellness. And you mean overall wellness?
Overall wellness. Mm-hmm.
See, I love the word tangible, because I know when I would listen to a certain podcast, I listen to people I look up to. It's like, how do I improve my life? And they'll go all philosophical and stuff. I'm like, no, but how do I do it? What do I need to do right now? And then they'll tell me something. I'm like, I don't see how that connects to me being a millionaire. How can I be the next Oprah if I just meditate? And it's like,
right.
You don't know how simple something could just catapult you into the next level in your life. So the first thing and people may not understand why, but trust me, there's definitely a reason why. Because when you can get disciplined with one simple thing, and you can get disciplined with complex things later on down the road in your life.
Yeah.
So the first thing I would say, do not eat after a certain time every night.
Yes.
Do not, I don't care what your lifestyle choice is for food, just do not eat after that time. And a lot of people may have like overnight schedule and things like that, but I'm speaking to like a standard schedule to what most people have, because most people don't work overnight, right? Right. So let me speak really quickly to 9 to 5ers, the people who have a daytime schedule and they sleep at night when most of the rest of the world is sleeping. If you 9 to 5 or you work an early day schedule and you're going to bed like around 10, 11 o'clock, try not to eat 3 hours before you go to bed. Now, this is, I don't know if some people characterize this as simple. Just whatever your lifestyle is, try not to eat before going to bed. And if you can't do 3 hours, do an hour. Because some people are munching on steak and fries, and then they literally just go to bed before the food even digested. So do not eat at least an hour. Since Kayode said simple, an hour before going to bed. The second thing I would say, do not be on your phone or any TV. Like, these things emit all these all these stressful energies. Like, it literally emits energies, like this phone screen, the light from the TV. Cut it all off at least 1 hour before going to bed. You'll see how much more peaceful you feel. So that's 2 things.
Wow.
2 things that I think are simple. And then the third thing I would say, I'm trying to think if I wanted to choose meditation or writing, because there are 3 things. But you know what? I'm going to combine it. Do a combined meditation that involves writing, some form of writing. In your meditation, you're going to sit and listen. And I don't want to hear it. Oh, meditation is this, and that. I don't care if it's 3-minute meditation, 3 to 5 minutes. Set the timer on your phone. Half of this 3 to 5 minute meditation is going to be sitting still and listening.
It goes quick.
You may not know what you're listening to or listening for. When you hear it, when you hear the reminder, you're going to know it's God. You're going to know it's your higher self, then you're going to know what to do. Because when you know yourself, you know what to do. So half of this meditation is just going to be to sit still, listen, and breathe. The second half, I don't care if it's 1 minute, you're going to write. I don't care if it's 5 lines, right? What is it that's coming to your mind? Or you can choose what you want to write. I'm not going to put it like everyone write the same thing. What you're feeling in the moment, what came up during your sitting and listening, or you can write, what do you want out of this life? So for me, I love to write about future, what I want. Like, oh, I want a 3-family house and I want it to be for rental income. I want to have a talk show and I want to be a transformational speaker on the level of Oprah. Like, I love to think like of those things that gets me excited, right? Or if you don't want to think about those things because you don't know what you want, because that's fine. Write about what's coming up right now and what you want to change right now. Write about how you feel. Today, I did this and it didn't feel good. I didn't have integrity with myself today. I'm going to do better tomorrow.
Right.
So I'll recap the 3 things. At least 1 hour before bed, do not eat anything. Like anything, you're not chewing nothing. Don't eat anything. Do not eat anything solid. The second one was no electronics, no form of electronics 1 hour before bed. You're going to see how much more peaceful and how quiet your mind is so that you can actually listen and think. And the third one was have a short meditation if you're not used to meditating. This is for like the real beginners who they don't know anything about any of this. You could do 3 to 5 minutes. Half of it is listening and just being still to listen to God, the God within. And then the next half of it, you can write whatever it is that comes to you, whatever you're inspired to write. again, the saying that God lives on paper, like it's something different about putting pen to paper that can make things manifest as opposed to writing it on your phone or just thinking about it or putting it on a dry erase board. I love my dry erase board, but putting pen to paper is very, very powerful. So I think anybody, no matter what level you're at, you can start with that, with those things, and then you can book a consultation and we can elevate it from there. Listen to our lives and our YouTube videos, because a lot of we drop a lot of gems there. I drop a lot of gems on my free weekly IG live, so
yes,
you go from there.
Thank you so much. That's powerful.
Thank you.
And I'm going to assume that doing that will help an individual rise to their best, because
exactly
their God self. Fantastic.
Yeah, just start there. Minimum 30 to 60 days. Minimum 30 to 90 days, right? They don't have to stress themselves out with, well, what am I doing this for? Well, what's next? We just gonna live in the now and the right now and just do this for 30 to 90 days. And then you'll see how much elevation you can get from there. A lot of times we try to do too much at one time. We try to change too much at one time, and then we change nothing. So if we want to set ourselves up for success, be disciplined with one simple thing. You said 3. Even if you choose one of those 3 things I said, you are on the path of progression and improvement. If you choose 3, great. If you choose 2, great. If you choose 1, great. But if you can you be disciplined with it for a long period of time without skipping a day? That's the key. That's what it's gonna put this, like, it's like the, what they say, like driving, it's like the memory muscle. You just get in a car and you drive. You don't remember when they said, oh, do this. We have to do this. You have to look in your mirror. You just do it because it's so natural. That's what we're trying to do. Having these things, incorporate these things for it to just be natural. Just like how you get up in the morning and brush your teeth, you're gonna breathe at night. You're gonna not have to be a slave to your phone or any of your electronics. You're not gonna be a slave to food late at night, because you don't want your body to be doing all that crazy work. And that's how we wake up so exhausted, because our body's still digesting all the heavy stuff we put in it the night before. So you want to wake up lighter, eat lighter during the day, eat less, and then, do your intermittent fasting at night. You'll feel so much better, and everyone wants to feel better.
I just want to chime in on that, family. Like, what she's saying is real, because I stopped eating after a certain time, and I still have my days where I don't do it, but it's much less than it was before. And when I start doing that, stop eating after a certain time at night, my sleep got so much better. So much better because of my work schedule. I would be eating, like she said, like an hour, not necessarily like an hour, but like not even 30 minutes, but just close enough where I would be going to bed. And like you said, start at an hour before bedtime. Don't eat any solids. You can drink water or maybe a tea or something like that, but just be mindful of that, because you have to get up, go to the bathroom, in the middle of the night maybe. But the sooner, the more time you put in between what you ate and when you go to bed, your sleep will be amazing. It'll be restful, because your body's digesting that food, so you're not really getting a restful sleep. Your body's working hard. And then on top of that, not only stopping eating, but like I said, using the phone, watching TV, your brain accumulates these proteins throughout the day, and restful sleep helps to flush those proteins that build up in the brain, which you talked about earlier, which leads to Alzheimer's, dementia, brain fog. All those things are precursors leading up to those things as we get older, So I've seen that in real time. And what you do now will help prepare you for a healthier lifestyle as you get older. And that's important. You want to live quality of life. You don't want to be just old. You want to be older and be able to move around and to move and to groove
and enjoy,
enjoy yourself, enjoy other people.
To
travel,
I gotta admit my guilt. Kyle's been on me about, you eating pork, Kay? Oh, that bacon, egg,
I don't dine on swine.
Man, Kay, you ought to eat some fruit, man.
There's no pork on my fork.
So I have to attest, but my schedule is crazy. As an entrepreneur, Kyle can attest to this as well. I'm up in the morning, and then my day doesn't end until about 10:45 at night. So, and then throughout the day is just to explain to you all, it's crazy. But I'm grateful to God, my higher being, for you, Miss Empress, for basically confirming what I've already kind of been implementing and have been aware of. This is not entirely new to me. And to that point, I want to say, yeah, I used to go to sleep. I'm still battling with it sometimes now, but now it's really starting to manifest. Is that, yeah, if you go to bed with the TV on, because some people just feel comfortable knowing that the TV's on and stuff like that, but it does affect your sleep when you wake up in the morning. It's like you didn't even sleep at all.
It does.
Yeah, if a horror movie comes on, family, you sleeping, that's definitely
yeah. That's all up in your subconscious.
Right.
And then my friends don't understand why they're dreaming about monsters or why they feel on edge. Right. You have to turn off the TV at night. And yeah, if the more space, another point, the more space you put between eating and before you go to bed, the more space you put. And also, and there was another one you mentioned. Oh, the more hours before midnight. I got this tip from Dr. Sabi. The more hours of sleep that you get before midnight, it's like the more restful you'll feel. I'm not sure how true that is. But like if you sleep like 10 p.m. or 9 p.m. to 2 a.m., it's like that's the best sleep that you can get. I know it's not realistic for everyone. It's not realistic for most people. But if you sleep from like 9 p.m., 10 p.m. to whatever time, more restful, as opposed to some people will do midnight to 8 a.m. and they're like, well, I got 8 hours, but you're still tired. So it must be something that you have to adjust in that. And the more you adjust your sleep and the more you increase that gap between your last meal and when you do go to sleep, you actually have really clear dreams. And then sometimes there's like messages in those dreams and you're like, you sometimes solve a problem that you thought was an issue. You can solve it in your sleep. You're like, oh, wow, like now I understand what I have to do next. Or this was really bothering me for some reason. You just wake up with clarity. So like, we're not saying to just do these things for no reason. It could literally unlock answers to things you need to be more successful and more resourceful in your life. Like a lighter sleep can help you just be so much more creative.
Very good. And one final point, Nick, how you could close this out. A lot of people say, and like you mentioned before in regards to the changing of your eating, right? It's not going to, there's going to be what's called a what do you call it? Withdrawal process.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So I struggled with this early on as well. Like, okay, I went to bed at 8 o'clock this one night, right? And I still wake up tired. What's going on? I went to bed at 8 o'clock. And even if it follows through into the next night where I go to bed, all right, maybe not at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, but I still wake up tired, is because your body needs to adjust to that change. By the third night and the fourth night, I feel more rested going to bed at that early hour. So I think people need to be aware of that too, because some people may try it one night, it didn't work. Okay, and then they'll, all right, fine, let me try it again. The second night, it doesn't work. Oh, this thing doesn't work. I'm not doing this. I got to find some other solution. No, you got to give your body time because we are in the physical body to adjust. So very excellent point you brought up, Miss Empress. Cal?
Yeah, definitely good point, family. And what Kayode said, you got to give your body time to adjust because we want things to work instantly. And that goes to what Empress was saying earlier and what I was mentioning. It's like you got to have the discipline, consistency to see it through. And that ties into everything. That ties into things I've done and we've done as a collective, is that we try to do things and want that quick, fast solution. Hurry up and get it. And it's like when it doesn't happen in that time, it's like, whatever, it doesn't work. And and it's like, no, it didn't work because you didn't work. We didn't work.
Yeah.
If you really want it, like anything else, we chase the bag, but we don't chase our health.
Oof.
Ooh, that was a bar. Hey.
Yeah. I'm just saying, we chase the bag, we don't chase our health. Like that
was a bar. That was a good one.
I just had to drop that for it real quick. You know what I'm saying?
That was a good one. Yeah.
I'm very grateful for people like Empress Live to come on our show, our podcast today, family. She dropped a lot of jewels that are going to save your life, literally, right? Lifesaver. And we're glad to have you on here, Empress Live.
Give thanks. I'm so happy. I had so much fun. So I will come back if you'll have me. I'm excited. It was so much. And the time does go by so fast. And a lot of people, repetition sometimes is key. I think I heard you have to hear something 7 times in order to like really implement it and like for it to stick.
Okay.
So the message is really important and I would love to come back on. And I love your show, the Grand Rising Collective. This is amazing. The energy is bomb. Like the three, because sometimes when it's one-on-one, that's dope too. But the three, it's something about like the three, the trio.
Yeah.
That's dope.
And just one last thing before we chime out. Empress, how do you rise to your greatness? What's one thing you do to rise to greatness?
When I saw that question, and tonight, I'm like, how am I gonna word it? How do I rise to my greatness? So I rise to greatness because there's so many.
Yes.
So I'm gonna choose like one. There's so many. This question is so unfair. Do the other guests have problems with this question?
Right.
So
that's a beautiful problem to have. You like so many,
right? And then it's like so many different ways. Okay.
Yeah.
But I really rise to my greatness by me personally, by self-correcting my negative thoughts and replacing them with positive thoughts. Because I don't know if it's my biological makeup, something I went through in my childhood that I may have forgot about, something that I saw that I'm not connecting. I don't know what it is, but I have to work to be positive. Like I had to really work to get here. I had to force it until it became natural, and I would give into negativity and fear. And how I rose to my greatness, like no lie, like no matter what happens, I'm like choosing the optimistic. Well, what if everything works out? What if this is amazing? Oh, this is going to work out great. Oh, you're great. Everything's going to be great. Like I'm always choosing the optimistic side of things and choosing half to see the glass half full as opposed to seeing it half empty. And that's with anything, to the point where I have been called, delusional. I've been told that I'm living in fantasy land, but I rather believe and have this knowingness that it is possible for everything that I love and want. And for me to be more disciplined, to live, have the highest heights of love and have the highest heights of connection with my people. Like in order to do these things, I have to be optimistic. So how I rise to my greatness is by being optimistic and encouraging my people to do the same.
That's a fantastic answer.
Awesome.
That's a fantastic.
Thank you. I really have to think about it. I'm like,
yeah.
I know I do that, but I'm like, how am I going to word this?
So much. All right. Any other questions? Because I'm feeling guilty now because I know Miss Empress, the baby didn't cry, so I'm glad the baby didn't cry. So
you see how God works, like
yeah.
Okay, so it all linked up perfectly. Like she slept the whole time. She barely does that, and my husband just came back from BJ, so she's good. So it worked out perfect. I give thanks.
Thanks.
Fantastic. So being conscious of that, thank you so much, Empress. Again, we can't thank you enough. You already know our bumpers, our what do you call it, hashtags and all that other stuff is at the end. Final words and piggyback. I hate that term piggybacking, but and complimenting what Miss Empress said. Yeah, just life is full of negativity. We're bombarded with it every day, media, whatever the case will be. Again, complimenting Miss Empress and what she said. I'll put it in this term. What they say? Laugh and the world laughs with you, cry and you cry alone. So to look at things from a positive point of view, you can't lose, right? I mean, so I'll leave that with our audience. Just do the best that you can, discipline, consistency, and look at it from half glass full. Because you can't lose. You're going to,
exactly.
You know what I mean? So those are my parting words, my final words, Kyle.
Have that courage to be able to take that step to your greatness, right? To your fulfillment, to your destiny, to your enjoyment, right? For the better for you and for the people around you, right? So thank you for your time. This has been another episode of Grand Rise Collective. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to our platform again on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, right? IG, all these different platforms that we're on. Please engage. We have much more episodes to come for you. Definitely look at the past episodes where we had people on here talking about wellness and lifestyle and entrepreneurship and education, entertainment, all these different things that encompass in our community. We're going to have more guests on like Empress Live here. And without further ado, we're going to chime out, because we got more greatness to fulfill. So, on the count of three, Kayode.
On the count of three, 3, 2, 1, peace.